So, one of the things in my experience of being in the military, I was in from 2008 to 2015, was that, you know, whenever you decide, is at some point you're going to have to decide whether or not you're going to stay or you're going to leave the military. And I always found it fascinating to me because once you decide to leave or stay, you're either looked at as a hero or an idiot. Um, and it's funny, depending on who you ask, you could be either one. But the one thing that I saw was that if you decided to stick around, people tended to treat you better than those who had decided to leave. I remember when I decided that I no longer wanted to be in. I remember I had a sergeant first class ask me, I have a GED. When he said, what are you going to do? You have a GED. Like, what good are you? So, which I told him, I had reached the rank of sergeant. Obviously I'm a hard worker. I'll figure something out. I can go to school, and everybody always doubts whatever it is that you're going to, what you're going to do. But the one thing that I always found fascinating were the people that doubted you are the same people that never wanted to take a risk either. They were the same people that decided that for whatever reason, they were going to stay in. And when they stayed in, that's okay. That's completely on your own, your own decision to make. But when they decided to stay in, they take it personally whenever somebody decides not to make that same decision that they did. And I find that completely, what's the right word to say? I don't know, stupid, basically. I find it completely and utterly stupid that somebody would bash on a decision that is completely and utterly yours to make. And the first thing out of their mouth is, you're not going to make it. If you're watching this, I want to let you know that just because you get out of the military, it does not mean that you lose all of those disciplines and values that were instilled in you during your time in service. That's still there. The biggest thing, is that if you're willing to work hard, you're willing to put in the effort, and you're willing to make the sacrifice, there's nothing that you can't do. I just think it's completely crazy because, obviously if you're watching this also, you've been in the military, you know that there's a saying, complacency kills. And I find that to be a really great saying when applied to certain things. But the same people that will tell you complacency kills are the same people that have 25 years in service, with 10 years time in grade, who have zero chance of a promotion, and they hate every bit of their life. But they chose complacency. They chose to not take a chance on themselves. They chose to stay in whether or not, they felt like it was the right decision to make for their family or for themselves. That's a decision that they chose to make. And they take it personally when you decide that you no longer want to be a part of their organization. Like I said, when complacency kills, you can look into those people's eyes and you can see that they are dead on the inside. And that they hate every minute of putting on that uniform, and it kills morale, and it kills unit productivity. So with that being said, my final word is just that if somebody has told you before you're getting out or you're now out that you're not going to make it, I don't want to tell you that you can't listen to them, but you don't have to listen to that shit. You can be whatever you'd like to be as long as you put in the effort, you put in the time, and you make the sacrifice.